Next, we have Tom Babilon. Again, the question is, why are you running? And what are your plans for the people of Syracuse and for the city of Syracuse? The stage is yours.
Thank you, Baki. So, this is the impossible question. Tell everybody what you're going to do for the city of Syracuse in 10 minutes. Impossible, all right? All of us have platforms at our websites that go on and on about each one of our policies. We're not going to be able to explain every single one of them to you in detail tonight. So what I'm going to run down what I want to do for the city, and I'm going to focus on one particular issue tonight. So one of the things that we really need to do in the city of Syracuse is restore public safety. Some people are going to tell you otherwise. I only know what I live on the street every day in my neighborhood. And it isn't better than it was 7 years ago. It's worse. And I'm going to get into that. I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. The other things we need to do is we need to restore financial accountability, balance our budget, and get a handle on these tax hikes, okay? We have had over $100 million added to our city general fund, just the city operations budget in the last 7 years. 3 tax hikes or 6 tax hikes, however you want to do that, and add a 7th if you can include the sidewalk tax. People have left the city of Syracuse because of the crime and because of the taxes. We're the only municipality in the entire county to lose population in the last 4 years. We lost 1.5%. Every other town and village in our county gained population. Why you think that is? It's because people are not happy with the status quo. They don't want to live here. We need to restore faith in local government, okay? When the mayor's office comes up and lies to the press, or they lie to the common council, then we don't have any faith in that local government. When the mayor's office comes up and said, yeah, we bid that contract out, and then it comes out, no, they didn't. They didn't bid it out. There's no trust in that local government if they can't even tell the truth to your elected officials. We got to have smart development in the shadow of I-81, all right? 81 is going to be some of the highest value properties in the city of Syracuse. We need to make sure that the right kind of development goes in there so that we can generate revenue for the city, all right? And lessen that burden on our other homeowners and business owners. We need to save money through consolidation and elimination of wasteful spending. When I was sitting at City Hall and they say, oh, it's only $100,000, don't worry about it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's a lot of money for me. It's a lot of money from everybody else. Every single one of your dollars needs to be accounted for. We need to create new housing opportunities through smart development, which means building off where we've had success before. Let's build a new house there and let's build that success and move forward with that. And we need to think about new ways to house people. You know, maybe we need to rezone some industrial properties and do some micro-housing like they have in New York City. Things that people that are just getting out of college or just getting to the area can afford, you know? We need to think about new things, okay? And we need to increase economic opportunity for everybody. How many of y'all know somebody that's got a side hustle and how difficult is it for them to operate in the city of Syracuse? All right? You want to open a restaurant, you want to open a small business, you got to jump through 10 hoops. You're a big corporation, you come to town, they're going to walk you through every one of them, and then they're going to give you money on top of that. We need to make it easy for people to make money in this city. And how we do that? We deregulate things. Maybe you don't need this kind of license. Maybe we don't need to duplicate all the same regulations that they have in the county and make you pay extra fees to the city that you don't have. But tonight I really want to focus on public safety because I'm telling you, in my neighborhood, I live in a real neighborhood, not a neighborhood that you probably think the mayor lives in, and stuff goes down all the time, all right? Just 3 weeks ago, I had a crazy dude, right? Rips his shirt off, he's running up and down the street, screaming at the top of his lungs for an hour, stopping traffic, running into everybody's yard. So, hey, what are we gonna do? Let's call the police. Everyone on the front porch with 911, right? 45 minutes later, nobody showed up. How many of y'all called the police and they don't even show up? I know y'all, I know you have. I know you have. Because it happens to everybody. And I walk to every single door and they tell me the same exact thing. Oh, they ain't gonna show up, why are we gonna call them? You gotta tell them he got a gun or he got a knife for them to show up. Well, you know what, that's BS. All right? We deserve better from our police officers. They need to come up when they're called, and half the time they'll call you and they'll say, "Oh, well, that's just that's a property crime. Fill out your own police report," or we'll get somebody out there when we can, and then they don't show up, or they show up hours later. Why is this happening? Why? I don't blame the police. You want to know why? Because when I moved here in 2003, we had 550 police officers. In 2017, when Ben and Sharon took over, we had 450. We've lost over 100 police officers in the last 8 years. We're down 40% our force from where we should be. There are not enough people. They didn't respond to your calls because we don't have enough people to respond to those calls. We need to fill up the ranks, okay? We need to bring our numbers back up to early 2000, all right? I remember when they actually showed up, when I would call somebody and they, "Oh, yeah. Even accidents, small little minor things, they would send a cop. They don't send nobody now, or a public safety officer. Nobody comes out for this stuff now. So how are we going to get more cops? One, I'll tell you right now, everybody wants cops to live in your neighborhood, right? Oh, it's a great thing, yeah. Let's get them in here. Well, I'll tell you right now, I know someone that's in the academy right now. He's got to sell his house in East Syracuse, and he's a minority. He's got to sell his house in East Syracuse to get the job, because he's got to live here, or else he can't have the job. So that automatically cuts all the people that want to be police officers. Now we're down to this little tiny bit of people that are willing to live in the city of Syracuse. We need to get, listen, I want cops to live in the city. I want to incentivize them to live there. I don't want to make them live there, okay? And I'll tell you something else. The state law says you can't make them live there. The state law says this is illegal. But Mayor, hey, you know what? Mayor Walsh says we're going to do it anyway because I want to do it. And Sharon's probably going to help her and say, "Oh, yeah, it's a great thing." It's not a great thing. We're down 100 cops. 100 cops in 7 years. 80 in 2021 alone. So they showed up. The cops showed up, the crazy guy running up and down the street. And you know what they did? 45 minutes later, they show up. They pull to the corner, they look at him, and they turn around and leave. They didn't even say 2 words to him because they know this guy, and they don't think he's a danger. Well, guess what happened? He runs down the street, pulls down his pants, starts playing with himself in front of the apartment building, and there's no cops around. And then he's gone. We need better enforcement, okay? I'm telling you, if someone is doing something like that, they need to be talked to. They need to go where, if they need services, they need to get services or whatever. Downtown, I work downtown. I don't know if any of y'all work downtown. Yeah, exactly. I don't go downtown. People don't want to go downtown because the homeless situation has gotten so bad. One day, I work downtown. I ride my bike to work every day, like Tim. One day, I go to my office. First thing in the morning, there's a big steaming pile of human feces in front of my office. That's not the first time it's happened, so it doesn't surprise me. I go into my office. I work. I come out. Oh, I forgot. Before this, there's a guy sleeping in the parking garage on the sidewalk in women's underwear, no other clothes, just laid out on the sidewalk. Nobody's checking on him. Who knows if he's OD'd or if he's just passed out for the night before. So I'm not going to check on him because the guy looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? The cops aren't going to do nothing because there's no cops walking around downtown. So then I go to the bank, I come back, and there's another homeless guy trying to fight somebody. This dude just coming out the convenience store. He's ready to throw down for whatever reason, I don't know, because he probably got mental health issues. So we have to address the homeless situation downtown also. Some people will accept services. We need people to intervene and say, "Hey, listen, we're going to get you these housing services. We're going to get you these drug treatment services." And some people are not going to accept them. Some people are addicted to drugs. They're going to say, "No, I'm not going to do that." Some people are so their mental health has gone so bad, they're going to say, "Hey, I'm not going to do that." Well, you know what? I'm sorry. You can't defecate on the sidewalk anymore. You can't sleep in your women's underwear all completely naked or passed out on drugs or whatever you're doing. And you can't start fights in downtown Syracuse. Okay? We need a police presence. Okay, I'm sorry. And, Alfonso said he's happy to hear that the police are walking beats out. They're not walking beats. They're doing 20 minutes at the end of their shift. They'll say like 2 blocks they're walking. They're not walking beats. So we need community policing. And what that means is the cops that get called show up to the same area on the same shift every day. So when they show up when you call them, "Oh, hey, Joe, how you doing? I know you." That's what creates community interaction, not somebody that's going to walk 20 minutes, 2 blocks at the end of the shift. When the business owner calls them and they know that cop that shows up every day, that creates that community trust. When the resident calls that cop and he knows him because he's the one that he talked to at the corner, when the business owner called him, that creates community interaction. Not this fake walking around for 20 minutes. I'm probably out of time, and I could go on for public safety for another 20 minutes, but thank you, I appreciate your time.